everyone, welcome back to another video where today I want to talk a little bit about Tom Baker's reasoning for not returning for Power of the Doctor, as well as its overnight viewing figures. But before we get into that, I just want to say thank you all so much for the support over last night. It was honestly kind of incredible just to see how much of you guys came on through, be it through the videos or through the live streams. It was really nice to see. I'm glad you all enjoyed my insights and my content on Power of the Doctor, and just, yeah, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much. We are trying to get to 20,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and it would be so appreciated if we did. It would mean the world to me. So if you haven't subscribed already, we're less than 50 subscribers away from 16,300. So yeah, it would be greatly appreciated. Also, go follow me on Twitter if you'd like to, but of course, you don't have to. And there's a PO box if you want to send me anything, although I think that expires next month. So yeah, if you want to send me anything, now's the best time. But with that said, let me get into the video. Doctor Who producer reveals Tom Baker was invited to return but could not do it. This is from Nicola Metvin. Doctor Who fans were treated to 5 Time Lords to mark the end of Jodie Whittaker's stint at the helm of the TARDIS. Peter Davison, Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy and Paul McGann all joined the 30th Doctor for her final battle with the Master, played by Sacha Dhawan. Jo Martin also made a welcome appearance as one of the Doctor's future incarnations. That's wrong. It was a projection done by that hologram thing, a different incarnation, not a future one. Anyway, the actor David Bradley represented the first Doctor, originally played by William Hartnell, who died in 1975. While the absence of the late actors Patrick Troughton and John Pertwee as the second and third Doctors was understandable, some viewers were confused as to why the fourth Doctor, Tom Baker, had not joined the BBC One 90-minute special. Showrunner Chris Chibnall explained that the actor was 88 and was unable to take part. He stressed, "We asked Tom, but sadly he could not do it. He was not available. Such a shame." Chibnall said he had not invited back any post-reboot Doctors because of what is being planned to mark the show's 60th anniversary. Now that's an interesting point, because that could imply a couple of more, returning Doctors, a man can hope, or it could also just be because Tennant is coming back and he didn't want to muddy the waters for RTD, also understandable. As well as David Tennant, there is speculation that Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi could stage comebacks in these episodes, devised by returning Doctor Who boss Russell T Davies. Chibnall said, "I didn't want to tread on anything that might happen in the future, so those ones felt the right ones. I wanted it to be the classic Doctors, and there's not a huge amount of those. It was a bit of an instinct, and we asked them, and they said yes." So yeah, a really interesting little article there. Obviously, in terms of Tom not coming back, as Chibnall said, it's kind of completely understandable. The guy is 88 now, and personally, I kind of liked that we had a bit more Doctor variety, because obviously in the 50th anniversary, Tom Baker got his cameo speed as the curator, so it kind of felt right to put some emphasis on the other classic Doctors that have not appeared. Obviously, David Bradley has appeared before as the first Doctor in Twice Upon a Time, but to see Davison, Sylvester, Colin, and Paul all in one episode was really cool to see, and most of them, bar Colin, got to wear their outfits. And yeah, that whole idea of not wanting to tread on the toes of the future does leave me hopeful that there is potential for maybe a Matt Smith cameo in the future. Peter Capaldi I'm less certain of, for reasons I've outlined before, but yeah. It's nice to hear, nonetheless, that Tom Baker was asked. And yeah, it's completely understandable why he wouldn't want to do it, after all. I think he is sort of retired now, or at least he's, slowing down. I know that he's recently moved. So yeah, that made sense to me. Although, of course, it would have been great to see him. But I think the episode worked well enough having the Doctors appear who were with the companions in the episode. So 5 appearing to Tegan via hologram, and 7 appearing to Ace via hologram. It worked pretty well. 4 would have probably just been, a brief bit in that nebula space, like Paul McGann and Colin were, which would be fine. But yeah, like I say, I'm perfectly happy with what we got. So we also got the viewing figures for the episode. According to Lisa Nazimba, who is the sort of entertainment correspondent for the BBC, 4.04 million viewers watched as Jodie Whittaker regenerated into David Tennant at the conclusion of last night's The Power of the Doctor. The programme average was 3.71 million. So that implies to me that there's a bump, right, between the average and when Tennant came on, which is interesting. Although, as that figure is likely significant to rise with catch-up viewing. And then he continues, the 90-minute special was the 4th most watched programme of the day after Strictly the Results, with a colossal 8.01 million, Antiques Roadshow and BBC News. So yeah, 4th most watched, only just behind BBC News, is pretty significant. A lot of people kind of get into these wild debates about viewing figures. And the thing is, the reality is they are down across the board. That is the truth. So to have Doctor Who cracking the top 4 is a huge deal. And I know that some people were making the point about Antiques Roadshow. I think the main thing there is just that because I think younger generations go for more like streaming services and older audiences are more reliable for live broadcasts, so things like Antiques Roadshow and things that are catered towards older demographics tend to do quite well on live television. But yeah, overall, a decent result for Doctor Who, I think. This is one of those episodes where it didn't need to have a big viewing figure either way, because we know the future's secured, and as Lizo said, you know, BBC iPlayer replays, I imagine for that final moment alone with Tennant will be through the roof. I've heard so many people talking about it, people who, you know, I never hear talking about Doctor Who in my everyday life, talking about it. So yeah, I think the figure is more than fine for the modern TV climate. Like I said, it broke the top 5, it just missed beating BBC News itself, and obviously this actually did have BBC News coverage. So yeah, I have no doubt the 7-day figures will see a significant rise from this figure as well. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think about Tom Baker unfortunately not being able to return, as well as the viewing figures for Power of the Doctor. Comment down below your thoughts on anything we discussed, like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you later.